And we lost it on the other end. Refresh my screen. Hopefully they refresh on their end. Just give us a chance to see if we can get this back up on the other end. People that were watching this live, we lost that connection, or I lost it on my end. Make sure it comes back up. Otherwise, I'll be talking to myself. Okay. You re-enable the chat. I'll re-enable the questions and answers. Okay. Okay, hopefully I just lost it on my side. How about in the chat? If anybody can just type in whether or not they hear me. Can everybody hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Okay. We're going to talk about we've had a couple of webinars here, and we talked about sharing some of our articles and blog posts and stuff. And one of the things I've been thinking of, and you already think this way if you have a job. If you have a job, you're trying to figure out, well, how can I do MLSP? How can I do blogging? How can I do Google Plus? How can I do all of this stuff and still maintain my job? You know, can I do it more you know, can I do it more efficiently? Jill, if you have an echo, if you're well, I don't know if you're listening on the headset. I didn't bring you in, so I'm not sure why you hear the echo. I turned off my speaker. I turned off my speaker, so there shouldn't be an echo on this end. Okay, so how do we do this in such a manner where we can get the most amount of traction whatsoever? And on the other side, MLSP teaches us that we should have a branding site. And I, of all people, confess, I have way too many sites. Not only do I have too many sites, basically what it does is it wipes you out. You can't focus on one thing. You can't be successful if you can't focus on one thing. So if you have a branding site, you want that site to be powerful. You want to get thousands of views per month. And in order to do that, you need to do regular blog posts, right? But then we found these other niche sites, like these little blogger sites, can help drive traffic to our branding site. But now you're doing blog posts over there. And I know myself, I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I can do it, and this is what I do all day. If you have a job, a full-time job, well, you're probably really going out of your mind. So we discussed a couple of different ways where we can share our blog posts and get more traffic and funnel in some of these traffic streams from niche sites and get them coming into our main site. And in the past, I never showed you all the way through. It was either the last couple of webinars that we had didn't turn out very well. It was like mayhem. So I wanted to do that tonight. I want to share that with you first. And I added a couple of things because I'm trying to get my consulting business up and going at the same time I'm doing MLSP. So it's really important for me to find a way of getting my branding site going, get these little niche sites going, and yet I want more time. You know, I mean, that's what this is all about. We do this for a lifestyle. And if you want that kind of a lifestyle where you can work 3 or 4 hours a day or 2 hours a day and have a full-time income, well, then you got to be a little smarter. So let's check this out. Come on, open up. Okay, we're going to share my screen. And where'd it go? Okay, now I think I have this pretty well figured out with webinars on air. I have everything on one browser. So this is an article from MLSP, and we know in MLSP, if we go to the bottom of the page, we have some share buttons. Now, this is pretty cool, the way it's set up in MLSP, because you can come over here and with a click of a button you can share it to some of your Blogger sites. Now in order to do that you have to have the Google Chrome browser open. Okay, you have to have that open because you can only edit Blogger sites on Chrome. So that's what we want to focus on. As far as the browser goes, you want to be able to do this, open up your articles in Chrome. Now, we have a share button here, and when we hover over it or we click on it, it's going to open up, and it's going to show us a lot of different places where we can share this. And it's thinking, there it goes. And let me try that again. No, there's always a delay with webinars on air. Okay, so we come down to Blogger, and now we can take this article and post it on our Blogger sites, our little niche sites that we have. And that's cool, but this is MLSP. So I'll show you how that works with MLSP first. It's going to open up a new tab, and I'm going to take that particular article and I'll just share it on one of my many little Blogger sites. But it opens up to a window like this. And this is pretty cool. I've never done this for you guys. So let me put this on. Where to go? Be a Blogger Biz. Actually, yeah, I'll leave it on that one. So all you do is come up here in the right-hand corner, and you can pick which of your Blogger sites that you want. Now, I have a bunch of them, obviously. You may only have one or two. But you can just pick the one that you want, and it generates the link, and I could just turn around and hit post. In fact, on this one, I could just do that, but I could come over and put something in there. You can just put a little comment in there. And that's it. Push post, publish post, and that's it. You're done. Now you can view the blog, and you can go there and see what it looks like. So I'll scroll down as soon as the browser catches up here. I have a lot of stuff going on here. But anyway, each blog post is set up on here, and no, I went too far. I got a lot of blog posts on it. Anyway, there it is, right there. And it's an active link. So I mean, they can just click on it, and boom, they go right to my main blog. If they were in this particular case, we'll go to the article that we have on MLSP. So it's just a matter of clicking the share, and that's it. Now, to do that on MLSP, let me show you where that is so that you can set it up for yourself. You want to make sure that you can do that. Go to My Websites and My Website Settings. It's probably going to have me re-enter because it's been sitting here for a little bit. Right, when you get here, you have some tabs across the top of the page, and we go to Sharing Settings. So it's My Websites, My Website Settings, and then go to Sharing Settings. And here, you can click to get a free account with Add This. Once you get the account for Add This, you can go ahead and click. I clicked off on Style 3. That gives you share buttons plus the little small icons. And that's it. Then that will show up on all of your articles. So for MLSP, if you want to do articles and then you want to share them to a blogger, and you can go to all the different social sites as well. So just by clicking here, clicking there, you can spread the word, get your article out there. What about WordPress? Now, WordPress, I went in there and I searched for the same type of thing with add this, and I didn't find add this, but I did find one very, very similar to it. So here's one of my WordPress blogs, and we come down to the bottom, and you can pick which one of the various social buttons that you want. Now, these are some of the top ones. So, of course, we want Blogger, and this is called Blogger Post. And then this is Stumble Upon, and then Tumblr, Dig, Delicious, and then Reddit is one of the bigger ones. And then LinkedIn if you want, depending on what kind of an article. So for me, with some of my aviation stuff, I may want to share it on LinkedIn. But basically, these are the very top of the places. If you did nothing else but share to these places, you're going to get extra traffic to these articles. But on the end, it showed a little square button with a plus, and I didn't like that. So you have an option when you add the plugin to your WordPress blog where you can have it say share instead in text. So anyway, when you do that, there it is. You have Blogger Post as well. You got Twitter, Pinterest. You have all the other ones as well. But this makes it so it's pretty much just like it is with an MLSP article. Where you can just share your article onto Blogger. So because I'm signed in here, if I click here or I click here, it's going to go to Blogger, the Blogger Post. So I'll go ahead and do that. And it's going to look just like it did, exactly like it did over on the article, the MLSP article directory. Now, this particular one, I want to change it around a little bit, and I want this one to go on how to build a large MLM business. So I select that one, and I'm going to change this up a little bit because basically what it's going to show up, whenever you know this if you have a Blogger site or even a WordPress, the title is basically an H1 tag, but if you have any kind of SEO software or plugins, it's going to tell you if you didn't put an H1 tag in there and you just left the title up here, it's going to say that you're missing the H1 tag. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to argue with it, so I go ahead and put in the H1 tag. Well, in this particular case, the H1 tag also is the link. So what I want to do is click in front of it and say, okay, so all I wanted to do is make sure they understand that this is a link, because if I go to Blogger and I show you what it looks like, it doesn't look like much, So in that particular case, because I already know what it looks like, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So when I click Publish Post, it's going to go from my WordPress blog and it's going to link it onto my Blogger site, okay? That's a backlink. And then from there, it doesn't automatically go to Google+, but from that point, we can go to Google+ very easily. So the important thing to remember here is we are trying to get as much traffic and as much as we possibly can get out of every piece of content that we have. But if you don't have enough time because you're working all week and you're trying to build your branding blog, plus you have these other blogs, you can do like a post on your branding blog and then share it to one of your Blogger sites and another Blogger site. Then the next night you can go share it to some other places. You can make your busy schedule fit around your objective, which is to build your branding site. So this just makes it more powerful. It gives you some time-saving tips on how to do this. So let's see what it looks like on the blog itself. So we bring this up, and this is the post, right? Actually, it's just a snippet. This is on the home. So I'm going to click on, actually, I don't even have to. I'm waiting for the thing to stop swirling. it's loading the page. Seeing that I have this screen going over here and webinars on air going over here. We're recording this thing in HD. There's a lot of things going on. Okay, so if I click on this, it's going to open up a post, but I didn't really put anything there anyway. But now you can see, if it said the team, and underneath it, it said the team again, both of them are links, but does the person know whether or not they should click on it? Well, I just helped them out. It says, click right here on the team to see the blog post now. Now, if we want to put it on Google+, because remember, we sign into the browser with our email address, our username and email address, our password. But Chrome knows that we're in Google+. Chrome knows that we're in YouTube. Chrome knows that we're in Google+. Chrome knows that you're on Blogger, and that Blogger site is related to a certain Google+ page. So if you come down to the bottom and just click on recommend this on Google, a little comment box pops up, and you're used to these. And it freaked out. There it is. It came back. Now, I don't really like this picture up here, so I'm just going to click on that to make the picture go away. And I'm just going to put a little short comment in here. Some of us were banding together, get that elusive passive income from the internet. Okay. Okay, so here is the link going back to the Blogger site. So I took it from WordPress, I put it over on Blogger, and now I'm putting it on Google+, and I'm putting it towards the public. Okay, so by me doing that, Google, the search engine, is looking at Blogger, is looking at Google+ live while you're doing it. It's on the Google servers. And then it's looking at Blogger sites which are on Google servers. Understand this. This is very, very important. You're giving two backlinks on Google servers to a blog post over on your blog. And this works really fast. I did it today, and within an hour or two, my Alexa score dropped by 20 or 30,000. I was just editing pages. But then I turned around and shared that page onto the Blogger and then put it on Google+, and within a couple hours, my Alexa score dropped. It's incredible if you use Google Tools because it's live on the servers. You don't have to wait for the spider to come check you out. It's there watching you. So here we did. We took that. We took a blog post from a WordPress blog. We've stuck it onto Blogger, and that's over there on that server. Then we turn around and shared it onto Google+. I'm going to share it only with the public because actually I'm going to share it with my followers. Now, if you know this or not, but you can share it to your following. There's 4,000 people. What the heck, right? Why not? Get some activity on it. There we go. So it's out there. So now if we go over to Google+, and I refresh the page, Now, Luana is asking, does Google still treat it in the same term of being able to be found in the search when it's just a link? Yes, it is. And especially when we put it onto Google Plus, because when we put it on Google Plus and we put it out there to the public, we're giving them permission to put it on the search engines. And that's basically when you do it for the public, they're basically asking you if if you want to put it out there to the public on the search engine. So we're giving them permission to do that. So if I just put a link on the Blogger site, you should put a couple of lines there for a comment. I'm trying to keep it short because we're on a webinar. But basically, yes, yes indeed. Now this thing is churning away, but you can see it right here at the top. Now, here's the cool thing. I didn't put any hashtags in. You didn't see me put any hashtags in, and I didn't. But anytime it's in blue, that means that Google Plus, Google, has assigned hashtags to it. And the hashtags they picked was blogging, passive income, and team. And that is perfect. Sometimes you just got to leave it alone and just let Google do what it wants. But it knows what's here, right? It knows what you're posting. It also knows what's on the other side of the link. It knows what's on that page, how to build a large MLM business, Blogspot. And then on that link coming from daveweber.com, that particular page about the team, it knows what's on that page. And it pulls all of it together at light speed. Light speed. It knows what's there. So sometimes it's better off just leaving it alone. Now, if you chose the hashtag over here, it's going to show up as gray. If it was chosen by Google, it's going to show up in blue. So there you go. But the point is, what we have available to us on MLSP, where we can take an article and click share it to several different places. You can also put that plugin on WordPress and do the exact same thing. So when you do a blog post, the best performing blog you can ever have is one that you blog on daily. Now, if you can't do it daily, try it every other day. If you can't do it every other day, try it at least once a week, okay? And if you're really busy and you're hammered, okay, fine. We're all busy. Last week, I pretty much got smoked. Towards the end of the week, I pretty much shut everything down because I just felt like I was the most overworked, underpaid person on the planet. And I was just going crazy with way too much stuff. So, we have to find ways of sharing our content out there and get it out there. And this all ties in together. Even if you use YouTube, you can take a YouTube video, put it over in the article directory, and then share it to Dig, Delicious, to your Blogger sites, to Google+. I mean, you could just sit there constantly sharing. So you focus on doing whatever you can to build your branding blog, your brand, you incorporate, you concentrate and focus on that site. And then the niche sites and your Google Plus account, I'm going to show you something really cool there, but on those sites, you can take a break here and there. If you can't blog every single day, cool. Blog once a week, at least on your branding site. If you can do it on the other sites, great. That's great. If not, then at least share content, because Google is going to take that and say, hey, the person is sharing something on here like once every other day. Okay, but at least it's fresh content, and that's what Google is always looking for. It's always looking for fresh content. It wants those newspaper articles. So this is how we do it. This is how we can make the most of our time. Concentrate on your main site and then share it. Share it to the Blogger sites, share it to Google+. Share it to your articles. Share it to these social networking sites, social bookmarking. Okay? Now, I can open up and close down that, and I can close down this one. And I never opened up WordPress on here. Let me see real quick. If I open it up on this browser, I know exactly what the link is. I just want to show you real quick where the excuse me. I need the link so I can open it up over here. There we go. I'll show you which plugin I put in there, just so that you can see it. Okay, so the other one from on MLSP is called Add This, and this one is Share Buttons by Add to Any. Pretty close. But basically, you're getting the same thing. There's a little variation the way it shares the link. But other than that, to me, it looks the same. And you didn't have to open up a separate account. But anyway, you can copy this down. Share Buttons by Add to Any. Free plugin, install it onto WordPress, activate it, boom. Then go into settings, and you can select which ones that you want. My particular ones that I picked, I like the Blogger Post, StumbleUpon, Tumblr, Dig, Delicious, Reddit, LinkedIn, again, for me, because the aviation articles. You can even share it to WordPress. So if you have more than one WordPress, I put that there because if you're signed in, again, in your browser, it knows that you have WordPress sites. So if you wanted to share it to other WordPress sites that you have, you can go that way as well. But by putting the buttons on your site, it actually makes it easier for you to do this. It also helps your visitors and readers to be able to share it as well. But my main intention here is for me. All I have to do is pull up my site and I can turn around and share it. So I'll get rid of this. All right, so it's a pretty good way of saving time, and especially, like I said, if you get a full-time job, you're trying to make this thing happen. This is a great way of sharing some time. Spread it around. Focus on one thing. Now, I want to show you something. Now, a while back, I showed you guys a woman that had I think it was like 1.2 million followers. And I think she had like 1.5 million views, something like that, or 6 million views, something like that. It was really ridiculous. Anyway, I was digging through I was looking through her Google Plus account, and I was seeing that she was putting posts up there 3 times a day. And as far back as I could see, basically she was putting up posts 3 times a day, in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. And that's something that Michelle Pascoe-Solito teaches as well for Facebook, right? Being an engager. You want to engage with people. You want to have fresh content on that medium. And it's no big deal, right? It's no big deal at all to be able to do that because you might put up a picture. Maybe put up 2 pictures. Maybe you're sharing a blog post from a blogger site and putting it onto Google+. All of those count for being active, right? You're putting something up there, some kind of content up there. So anyway, I was looking at this woman's site, and I visited her blog, and I was looking around all over the place in this one because obviously she knows what she's doing. And she had mentioned this software, and there was a discussion going on about it, and there were some people pretty indignified because they felt that how dare you unfollow somebody? If you have people following you, who the heck are you to unfollow them? They thought it was very like an indignified, selfish way of treating people. But we know we can only have 5,000 people in our profile, meaning friends, acquaintances, in your circles. You can only have 5,000. Now, I did see something the other day. I'm thinking that you can actually follow 10,000. I got to verify that, but I saw something, I think it was on Saturday, and I was in a rush, and I kind of saw it and then flipped past it, but I think you can have 5,000 in your profile and 10,000 that you're following. I'm not positive, but I'm going to verify this. But anyway, the software that they were talking about is this, Circloscope. And I kind of looked at it and said, you know what? I don't have the money to pay for this. It's something that costs money, so I'm not going to do it. So I kind of left it alone. And then Luann joined the team, and I told her what we were doing with Google Plus, how we were, set up your profile picture, put your picture up there, set up your about page, join communities, and we join people, and we get about 20%, 22% followers, right? So we did that, and she started to go to work at it, and I guess she got bored, and then she emailed me and she said, "Hey Dave, check this out." So there's the software again. I heard about it over here and didn't do anything about it, but Luann got it, and she's playing with it, and she's getting people to follow her. So I spent quite a bit of time Saturday looking at this, and right now I have the free version, so I can show you how to use this with the free version. But the paid version is $47 a year. So it's an annual license for $47. That's like $1 a week. Well, that's actually less than $1 a week. It's $4 a month, but less than $1 a week. But what you can do with this thing is phenomenal. So I'm going to give you the link for this, and when you get off of here, you can play with it. I'll put that in the chat box. All right, that's one. Okay, and down at the bottom there is a free trial you can take. You can use this thing for free. What you can't do is mass following and mass unfollowing, but with the free version you can do an awful lot with it. So what I recommend is taking a look at this thing and take the free trial, and you're going to see a video too, and I watched that thing 10 times and watch them walk through this. But what you're able to do with this is, I'm just going to read it from the page. You can identify and circle the engagers in your niche and watch your engagement levels and number of followers take off. What is an engager? An engager is when you put out a post, a picture, something, and somebody comes back and replies and gives you a like or a share, gives you a comment, says, "Hey, that was great, I love that." That person's an engager, okay? Now, you can follow 1,000 people. How many people do you get that like your pictures or like your posts? How many people like them? How many people share them? You're talking about a dozen or half a dozen? It's always a small percentage when you're dealing with the mass populace. But what we want to do as marketers is focusing on highly targeted people. Highly targeted people. So what this allows you to do, it allows you to find and filter out. I'm going to show you how to do this in a minute. It's going to show you how to filter out people by whether or not they are an engager. Remember how we said when you go and follow people, we only follow people with profile pictures? Well, in Circloscope, they call them blue heads. Blue heads mean they don't have a profile picture. They don't let them on the list. They'll go through their list and highlight all of them and go through and click and unfollow all the blue heads because they're not serious people. If you're going to have followers, if you're going to have anybody in your circle, they should be a person who engages with you, and they should be active on Google+. I've probably got 10 or 12 Gmail accounts. I'm only active in G+ on one of them. So you can find people and follow them, but maybe they're not using G+, Google+, because it's only one of their Gmail accounts, right? So what this is allowing you to do is filter out and find engagers and only follow them. You can post engagers, quickly and easily create circles of engagers from any Google+ post, those that commented, shared, and +1 the post. So you can find a post by someone else, and maybe they have 2,000 likes, right? Maybe they got 500 shares. You can actually, with Circloscope, follow those people. Those are people who do engage. Those are people who do share the post and do give +1s, and only follow those people. So this Circloscope doesn't just manage your profile. You can turn around and look at a post. You can turn around and look at other people's profiles and follow people by adding a filter, and only follow people that are actually active on Google+. So most of us are getting, well, I get around 22, 23% return or conversion rate. I follow people about 22, 23% return. I think David Brooks is getting 21, 22%. I think Greg might have been getting around 20. And Leanne is just starting. She was getting around 10, 13, whatever. But she's just starting. You know how it is when you're just starting out. People don't take you serious if you don't have enough followers, right? But what if you only followed serious people, right? What if you only followed people that did a lot of likes, did a lot of shares, and wrote comments? There's another thing you can do. Those who attend events. So we're trying to use Webinars on Air in order to get our webinars and our recordings on Google+. We want it right now. It's streaming live right now on my Google+ channel. It's live. It's live on my YouTube channel. So we want to get people that actually attend those events. And you can follow people strictly by whether or not they attend events. The filters on this thing is crazy. I just sat here and I kept watching the training video over and over and over again, and every time I did, I got something more from it. I'm sitting there going, I can't believe I didn't get this thing, 4 months ago. But anyway, and you can go into other people's profiles. Imagine this. You find a multi-level marketer not in MLSP. Forget about MLSP for now. You don't want MLSP people in your circles. You want non-MLSP people in your circles, right? So you find a big-wig, high-producing person who has a whole mess of followers, people who are following them. And you can go into their profile and search his following and only follow the best of the best in his following. But a person that's already following someone else, very likely going to follow you. And if they're a multi-level marketer and they have 10,000 followers or 5,000 followers, with Circloscope, you can go in there and bring them all up, load them all up, highlight them all, and then sit there and go through and click off the ones you don't want. And then you can click follow. And you can follow to all of them at the same time. Now, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I don't have the paid version. I'll get that tomorrow, Wednesday. But I know you can do in mass followings and unfollowings. I can go in and unload 3,000 followers that I'm following that never followed me back. I can go in there, highlight them, go in and click off the ones that I want and to keep, because some of them are my friends or whatever. And you can put them on a whitelist so that you never have to worry about unlisting them by accident. And then you can go through and just click the button and boom, Circloscope will follow all those people. So I'm not sure if it will follow all of them at one time or if it'll go for 200, 250 and then stop, and then the next day go for 250 and do it for you. But you don't have to sit there anymore and follow person by person by person. Really cool software. And that'll do that on the free version. What you can't do on the free version is en masse. You can't unfollow 1,000 people or 3,000 people in one shot. Can't do it on the free version. You can't do it on the $47 per year version. You can't follow 1,000 people with a click of a button on the free version. You can do it with the paid version. So event engages. Imagine that. You can go through, let's say you found this multi-level marketing dude out there and he's got 10,000 people, and you go in there and you play around with the filter and you find out that he has 1,000 people that attend webinars on a regular basis, on events. Well, if you're trying to share MLSP through Webinars on Air onto Google+, through Hangouts or whatever, aren't those the people that you really want? See, if you try and do this on your own, you can't do it. It would take you forever to get 100 people like that. But with Circloscope, you can sit there with a couple of clicks of the button and you can find them. It will just go out there and search. And Circloscope is one of the Google. It's on the Google App Store, and it's a 4.5 or 5 star rating for several years in a row. This is a tool that a lot of people use, on Google Plus, and it's in the Google App Store. So it's not like it's some funky software. It is credible. Your followers know exactly who is following you, following you back, and who isn't. Plus, how active and popular they are. Unfollow any metric you choose. So in other words, you follow people, or you have people following you, right? But you can go through there and just pick out the ones that are actually active. You can actually go by day or by month or whatever you want in the filter, and I'll show you that in a minute. But you can sit there and select who, basically with these filters to see who's serious and who isn't. So basically, what this is allowing you to do, I was showing you how to get 1,000 leads. I was showing you how to get 500 or 1,000 followers. And everybody's doing it. I'm imagining some of you have passed me up because I've just been too busy for the last month or two. But what this is allowing you to do is get tens of thousands of people with a micron of the effort. Just a teeny tiny portion of that effort that we've been spending trying to make this happen on our own, following people, following people, following people. A couple of you guys have hired people to sit there and do it for you. Now, if they're watching this video, they're going to go out and get this, and they'll take your money, and they'll spend seconds or a couple of minutes a day getting you a lot of people. So it's a pretty cool deal. Now, if you go down to the bottom, all the way down here at the bottom, it says free trial. Now, I'm going to click that because I'm pretty sure the video is right here when I click this. If not, I'm going to put the link in there. So I'll click it. Now, I got a lot of stuff going here. I'm not sure how fast this thing is going to load. Okay, our free version does everything our premium version does except the mass adding and removing of people. And you can upgrade anytime. In fact, when you start it up, it's going to load up, the option to go ahead and upgrade. I sat down and I was buying it, but they go through PayPal, and I never keep any money in my PayPal account, so I had to transfer money from my bank account back to PayPal. That takes up to 3 business days. It's already out of my account, but it hasn't showed up in PayPal. But if it shows up tomorrow, I'll have the paid version tomorrow, and next week I'll let you know what I've done. But so it's really it's really easy, and it's just a plug-in. So let me see. Okay, it's not going to show the video until I say install now. I'm going to give you the video anyway, so you don't have to go through this, but I wanted to show you the video is in here. It's the same video. Now, I already have it. Okay, there's the video. It's called Google Plus Circle on steroids. No, don't play. All right, I'm going to get out of there. So I'm going to give you the link for it on YouTube. I'll copy it and put it in the chat room before I go any further. Where'd my window go? And I would suggest, because like any software, This is going to take you a couple of days or a couple of weeks to get comfortable with it, but I'm telling you, you're going to love this thing. I've been playing with this thing and watching the video and playing with it. It is really, really cool. The closest thing I can describe it is we use the Google Keyword Planner to search for keywords, right? And it comes up and there's the keywords. That's it. That's what happens on Google Plus when you pull up a community. There they are, the people that you can follow, a list. But if you get Market Samurai or what is it, SEO Cockpit or any of these things, they plug into your Google AdWords account, the keyword planner. They plug into your account. And then you download the keywords that you're looking for. And when you pick a keyword, it goes out there and looks at all the search engine results for your competition and puts on a chart and shows you how many backlinks they have and what their Alexa scores are and everything, right? So you're taking what Google is supplying with you, but Market Samurai or SEO Cockpit is going to take it and make it really valuable for you, make it something really awesome for you. That's what Circuloscope is doing. It's taking Google Plus, the data from Google Plus, and then it's making it so easy for you to manage it like your own personal dashboard. And you can just go in there and filter and filter and filter. I'm so looking forward to unfollowing 3,000 people. I don't even know what I have right now. Let me check. Okay, I have 1,133 followers, 73,258 views. And if I go to the About page, and I might have to 4,200. So I got 4,200 people that I'm following and 1,133 that are following me, right? So I can go into Circuloscope and go into my circles, the 4,201 people that I'm following, and I can bring them up there and apply a couple of filters. And then I can highlight all of them, right? I highlight all of them, then I can just go in there and click on the ones that I want to save. And then you sit there and go page by page if you want. Just click on this one, click on, you unhighlight the ones that you want to keep and keep all the others highlighted. And just go page by page by page. And then when you hit the button, boom, all of them are gone. All of the people that you want to unfollow. Do you have any idea how much time this would take us? I was telling Marva, I think it was, that you open up two browsers, people that you're following and the people that are followers, and you put them side by side and sort them by alphabetical order and just make this list look like this list and go step by step. It'd take you hours and hours and hours. You can sit here, you can come home from work and apply a couple of filters and boom, unload 3,000 followers. Then you can turn around and follow another 1,000 people, but not just 1,000 people. You can follow people who are engagers, people who +1, who leave comments, who attend webinars, people who are active on Google+. You can filter out all the blue heads. You sit there and have to go through the list manually and decide, well, they have when you sit there and go through a community, you sit there and go, well, do they have a profile picture? How many people are following that? I mean, there's a lot of things that you have to go through, and that affects your conversion rate. If you're just clicking on people, you might end up with 10%. If you're clicking on the right people, you might be getting 30%. But with Circuloscope, you can probably get 50% or 80%. I don't even know, but I'm thinking the way the filters work, that it could be very, very high, okay? Because you can filter out all the people that don't normally follow. And by going into other people's profiles, especially network marketers or multi-level marketers, the only people that are going to follow him or that person is a network marketer. Isn't that who you want to follow you? And if they follow him, isn't it a good chance that they're going to follow you? So you find these people, and then you go in there and you apply the filter to his list, his profile of followers. You apply the filters, and then you click the button, and boom, you follow all those people that you want in his group. Now you go find somebody else, and maybe you let it sit for 30 days or 60 days to see if anybody's following you back. If not, go back in and filter them out again and start all over. It's crazy, crazy software. I love this thing. So what I'm going to do is I gave you the site. I gave you the YouTube video. So you have both of those in the chat box. Make sure you highlight them and you copy them and put them in your browser for now or save them or whatever. But the only thing you do is you come over here. It's on the toolbar. Here's SEO Quake. Here's the Alexa toolbar. Skype, and here it is, CircleScope. You just click it. It's a plugin. It's an application for your browser. And now it's in your account. You have it. So it's running off of Chrome. It's a Chrome extension. And when it comes up here, it's going to be loading and doing all kinds of things. But look, 1,133 followers. It knows that I'm on Google+. It knows what my account is. In fact, when you're logging in there, it'll find your ID. I was telling people to go out and get these short names for your Google+. Like mine is plus Dave Weber. Well, then it asked for your account number. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. Then I just plugged in and it knew who I was. Okay, I'm going to wait for this thing to settle down a little bit. So it's always asking you if you want to upgrade, and I'm going to do it probably tomorrow. Figures, right? Right after the webinar is over. Okay. So I know how many I have circled. Out of those that are circled, 3,999 are relevant. I'll get into that later on. But, so you have your followers, you have circled, you have those who are relevant, and you have those who are blocked. You can block people. You can put them on your whitelist. If these people in your circles are friends, I have, like Brian Finale, Michelle, none of those people follow you back. You can follow them, they're not following you back. You see? So you can whitelist them if you want to continue to follow them, but they don't follow you back, right? So you can put them on the whitelist. But then if you go in and you unfollow a bunch of people, like let's say Blueheads, they have Google Plus accounts, but they're not active, they're not doing anything, they're just sitting there. Why would you want them plugging up your works? You want people who are active, especially if you're going to possibly follow them back. You want these people to be active. You want them to be engagers, right? So if you unfollow these people, you can block them, put them on the blacklist so that you can't follow them again. Remember, if you go into some guy's profile and there's 3,000 people in there that you want to follow, maybe those people are following him too. You don't want them back. So if you go through and unfollow somebody, you can put them on the blacklist so that they're on another list. You can't follow them back. And this way you don't have to worry about dealing with them again. So it cuts down on your work. It makes I'm telling you what this is going to do. This is going to take your conversion rate and go through the roof. And the other thing is your engagement is going to go through the roof. Like Liwan was back and forth emailing with me yesterday because she has a person on Google Plus say, hey, I want you to be my coach. I want you to be my mentor. See, that's engagement. That's what you want. And with CircleScope, you can filter out all the people that don't do anything and just focus in on the engagers. Just focus in on the people that will like you, will share your post to other people. It's really cool. So you come up here to the top on the dashboard and you click the little arrow and it opens up. And obviously it's a menu, but you can have my circles. As you can see, all the people, all the circles that you have, all of your friends, all of your family, all of your acquaintances, all of following, and all the people that are blocked. So you can go in there and clean up your Google Plus profile by just clicking on the circles and go one by one and just fine-tune it and clean up what you already have. And what this does is, remember, we don't want to hit 5,000. You have a maximum of 5,000. Well, make those 5,000 the best 5,000 that you can have. And if it's friends or family that you're following or Brian Finale, that's fine. Put them on the whitelist so you never have to worry about taking them out by accident. But you can go in here and clean it up now while you have a small amount of people in your Google Plus account. Then you can go start following like crazy. And then you can go in and filter out the unfollow the ones that aren't doing anything, or the people that didn't follow you back. Then you can go out and follow again like crazy. Then you can turn around and unfollow them again. Then you go down to relationship. You got followers and those that are not following you back. You can just click on this and you can see all the people that are not following you back. Now, I'm going to click on this, but like I said, I'll show you how to use this as far as highlighting and unhighlighting. But just by clicking a button, you can see everybody in that category. And you can go in there, like I said, well, let's do it. Now, let me continue. Following back, people that are following back, one-way followers. You got relevance. They use little symbols here, little icons, relevant people and pages, high relevance, average relevance, low relevance, no relevance score at all, most relevant graph. You got your follow account. So you can go into you can look into your profile, people that you're following, and you can see if any of them have 500,000 people following them, or 100,000, or 50,000, or 10,000, or 5,000. You can go into their profiles and just filter them out and just find the people that have huge accounts of followers. You don't have to worry about communities if you find the people that are in your industry. In fact, I want to get this from this is only good for one personal profile, and then I think 2 or 3 business pages, and all of my accounts are all separate. So my aviation one, I just found an organization, National Business Aviation Association, and they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in there. And I'm like, oh, I got to go in there and start following people. This thing is so cool. I mean, if I had an extra $47, I'd just go in there and do it on that one too. And I might. But anyway, you can go in there under any person, not just your profile. You can go into other people's profiles and do this too, and filter out all the people, and then just follow the ones that you want. This is crazy, crazy tool. Inactives. Now you can customize it, but you can go inactive for 3 days, inactive for 7 days, inactive for 2 weeks. I don't know if I do that because I get busy, and just because I haven't done anything in a month doesn't mean that I'm not active. It's just I got busy. So I think I would probably stick with either inactive, like 3 months or more, or inactives because they never posted. Definitely, definitely, definitely get rid of the ones that never posted. Why would you want to follow them? If you followed them and they never posted, why would you waste that? So you have a real good reason to unfollow those types of people, and Circuloscope allows you to filter out those people and show you right on your screen. You could go through 4,000 people that you're following, right? And you go in there and you find maybe 50 or 100 people that never posted before. Never. They're not even using it. Get rid of them. One click of a button and they're gone. You don't have to worry about them anymore. Here's one, engagers. Engagers of specific posts. Engagers of specified posts, not in my circles. Imagine this. You turn on Google+, you scroll down the page and you find an awesome post. And you know what I'm talking about. Some of these posts have 1,000 people or 2,500 people or something like that, plus one, plus one, plus one. You can enter in that particular post and see who's following and their profiles on that post. Just by finding a post that you say, hey, that's the kind of people that I want to follow or have them following me. Those same people. So you find one post where a whole mess of people are engaging with that particular post. You can filter the people who engaged on that post, even if they're not in your circles, and you can look at them and add a couple more filters, and then, boom, follow them. And if they are engagers already, then most likely they're going to engage with you. See? So instead of concentrating or looking at 10 or 20% conversion, we can look at conversion rates really, really high. It's crazy. Engages in my last number of posts, engages in my last number of posts, not in my circles. So, you can put out a post, a picture, whatever, and you get people sharing and plussing, or plus wanting you, and they're not in your circles, but they saw it and went to the public, or went to a community, and maybe you didn't follow them yet. See, you can enter in a post and then look at the people that followed you or commented or engaged you on that post, filter them out, and then add them to your following. And then the other one's the same way. Profiles. Profiles in your circles, profiles that are not in your circles, profile followers not in my circles, shared circles. There's a group all by itself. Shared circles not in my circles, community members not in my circles, emails and Google IDs. Can that help you? So it's really cool. And then events, posted to an event not in my circles. I mean, you can go after people that actually watch webinars or hangouts on Google+. Very few people do it. It's always about numbers. Like I have 1,100 followers, and I have not been spamming or throwing any business opportunities out there to my followers at all. But the other day, I just felt like doing it for April Marie's training on Instagram. I just stuck it out there on a picture. Hey, free training, blah, blah, blah. So what was my return on that? 1.6%. And isn't that about right? Whether you're using a capture page or you're talking about numbers, I got a 1.6% return. People that actually clicked on it and watched the video. Out of 1,100 people, it's only 19. But that's it. But now if you find people that are engagers, if you find people that actually go to events, if you find people that are actively following other people like you, your percentage goes up. Remember, I've told you in the past, if you're making $5,000 a month and you got a 1% conversion rate on your capture pages, if you could get that percentage up to 2% conversion rate, now you'd be making $10,000 a month. So how do you do this on Google+? Find the people that are engagers, that are actually going to watch webinars or hangouts. Find the people that are actually doing something, and your conversion rate will go up. And then you got history, and then you got lists, white list, black list, miscellaneous, duplicates. There's something. I know I got duplicates, so you can go in there and look at the duplicates and find out which of the duplicates, like you get one guy, right? Which of those duplicates is active? Because if he has 2 Gmail accounts, one of them is probably just dormant and the other one's active. We'll get rid of the one that isn't. But you have to go looking through 1,000 people, 1,100 people to find this, to clean up your list. Here you just click duplicates and boom. There you go. Everybody's sitting there right in front of you. And then you can just uncircle all the ones that are inactive or blue heads. All right, so there's a lot of things that you can do here, and we were going to go through relationships and not following me back, right? I was going to look at that. So we click that. And it's going to go through and churn and churn and churn. $3,153 are not following me back. Just like that. Click the button while we're here on a webinar, and this computer is overloaded. But 3,153. Now you can select all, boom. I just selected 3,153 people. Now I can come in here and unselect me. That's one of my other accounts. My daughter, Scott Carell. You can just sit here and go through my other daughter. You can just go through here and go page by page. And you can just click on the ones that you want to keep. And then whoever doesn't fit into that profile with that filter, poof, you hit the button and they're gone. So it's very easy to just sit here and go through it. Now, I'm not going to push the button right now because I don't have time to go through 3,000 of them. But what I'm saying is this is a really, really awesome, crazy piece of software. And I showed you guys how Google Plus followers are they are leads. Your followers are leads. You have their name. They wanted information. That's why they followed you back. If they followed you back, if they didn't want information from you, they didn't follow you back. So your followers are leads. They gave you their name, and they wanted information from you. And you have their email, especially with this. So everything that you would get from a lead, the only thing you have to do is make this list bigger and bigger and bigger and feed them daily, every day, every other day at least. Try and give them something. Could be just a picture with a quote, a little uplift, a little professionalism, just something to make their day. Maybe something that'll make them smile. But you give them something that will, cheer them up. Some kind of content. And some of these people are going to come around and watch your webinars. Some of these people are going to come and watch your videos, read your posts, and contact you and say, hey, I'd like you to be my coach. I'd like you to be my mentor. And some of them are just going to click and follow you or click and join MLSP. So it's a really powerful software. I highly recommend that you go ahead and take a look at it, watch the video several times, get it as a free trial, and play around with it. And I think it's a pretty cool deal. I'm going to unselect these. Click at a button, boom. Let's see, let me select them again. And then we have filters. Here's the filters. I was going to shut it off without showing you this. Narrow down these sources, your circles applying these filters. By name, email, home, study, work, circles, relevance, activity, follower count. You don't want anybody with less than 1,000 followers. You don't want anybody following you you don't want to follow anybody with less than 1,000 followers. You can turn around and do that and then tell it how much. When you click on that, a box will open up and you have to fill it out. By page, in other words, you're following people in their profiles, but what if it's a business page or some sort of a page? Do you really want to follow the page? Is the page going to follow, engage with you, or do you only want to follow people? Follows, verified, muted, blue head. You can just click the button, boom, and then it's going to mark or highlight all of the blue heads on your list, and then whitelisted, blacklisted. So all of these filters can help you finite tune your list. It's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to unselect all of these. So I don't know if you guys have any questions or answers, questions that need answering. And I can bring you guys in and we can chat. I know I got quite a delay here. I'm trying to think if I should let it catch up or stop sharing the screen. So I'm just watching the other screen, waiting for the delay to catch up a little bit. But anyway, it's a pretty cool system, and I kind of kicked myself that I didn't look at it 4 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago when I found it, and then Luann found it, and she mentioned it to me, and I said, well, let me know how it works out for you. And then I kept thinking about it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's the same software that lady was talking about, and I got to take a look at it. Saturday I looked at it. It's like, geez, this is really cool. Don't like this thing with the delay. I mean, I hate to sit here, but then again, I'm looking under the screen, and I don't want to shut off this and not have the recording caught up or not. Guess we have to do a few more of these webinars on here, Hangouts, in order to get this down. Oh, everybody's gone except for me and Luann anyway. Are you still there, Luann? I might just end it right now. Okay, I'm going to catch you guys later. I'm going to shut this thing down, and we'll see if the recording is worth saving. And I hope you got something out of it, especially the circle scope, because it's really going to help you with getting a lot more followers than you have right now. At the very least, managing your followers. So I'll catch you guys later. Thanks a lot for coming, and catch you later.